Hey there and welcome. Today we're going to dive in and integrate a really powerful Cloudi-Fi Captive Portal directly with your Meraki network using their API. Let's get right to it.
So, are you ready to take your Meraki guest Wi-Fi to the next level? If you're looking for a more flexible, more powerful captive portal, you are in exactly the right place. We're going to walk through this whole integration step by step.
All right, here's the game plan. We've broken it down into 5 simple phases. We'll start with the goal, then grab that all-important API key. After that, we'll connect the 2 platforms, configure the sync, and finally, we'll verify everything and make sure it's secure.
Okay, first things first. Before we jump into the fun stuff, we got to talk about what you'll need. Getting all your ducks in a row right now will make the whole setup go way smoother. Think of it as our pre-flight checklist.
So, you're going to need access to your Meraki dashboard, and at least one access point, obviously. You should also have a basic idea of your network's IP addressing scheme, make sure API access is actually enabled in your Meraki portal, and you'll need access to make a couple of tiny tweaks to your firewall.
And don't worry, the firewall stuff is super simple. All we're doing is allowing standard web traffic out to the internet, that's ports 80 and 443, and then allowing DNS lookups on port 53 so your guests can actually get to websites.
All right, step 1. The API key. Now this isn't just some random string of text. Think of it as the secret handshake, the secure digital bridge that lets Meraki and Cloudi-Fi talk to each other. Getting this part right is absolutely critical.
Okay, so jump into your Meraki dashboard. You're going to navigate to Organization, then API and Webhooks. When you click to generate the key, and this is super important, copy it and stash it somewhere safe immediately. Because once you click Done, for security reasons, you will never see that full key again. And hey, here's a little heads up that could save you a headache later. Each admin account on Meraki can only have 2 API keys, max. So if you've already got 2 active, you'll just need to revoke one before you can create this new one.
Okay, with our API key in hand, it's time for the next big step, connecting the 2 clouds. We're going to switch over to the Cloudi-Fi side of things and use that key to make the connection. This is what unlocks all those awesome branding and analytics features we're after.
So you'll pop over to your Cloudi-Fi account, head to Configuration, then Integrations, find Meraki, and click to enable it. You'll want to choose Automatic Synchronization, select your cloud region, paste in that API key we just saved, and hit Connect.
Boom, the connection is made. Now for step 3. This is where we get to the really cool part, configuring how Cloudi-Fi imports your networks and how it's going to deploy that new guest SSID. You're basically drawing the blueprint for your new guest experience.
So, you've got a few settings to dial in here. First, give your integration a name that makes sense. Then decide if you want to organize your locations based on network tags or AP tags. Choose which devices to import, your access points, security appliances, or both. And finally, tell Cloudi-Fi where to look for new networks.
Okay, we're at a fork in the road here. A really important choice you need to make. Do you want Cloudi-Fi to do all the heavy lifting and configure your guest SSID automatically? Or do you prefer to have your hands on the controls and do it manually? It really breaks down like this. Automatic is the fast, set it and forget it option, where Cloudi-Fi just pushes the config for you. Manual, on the other hand, is for you folks who like more granular control. It gives you all the info you need, like the splash URL, to set it up yourself in Meraki. There's no wrong choice. It just comes down to your personal workflow.
All right, we are in the home stretch now. For our final step, we're going to verify that everything is working perfectly, and then we're going to lock it all down. And for those of you who chose manual, we'll quickly walk through that Meraki config.
First check is super easy. Just head back to your Cloudi-Fi admin UI and look under the Location section. You should see your Meraki networks listed right there. If you see them, that means the sync was a success. Okay, this next part is specifically for those of you who chose the manual path for your Meraki MR security appliances. It's time to hop back into the Meraki dashboard to set up your splash page and access control. So here's what you'll need to do. For the splash page, you're going to select Click-Through. For the Captive Portal strength, set it to Block All Access until sign-on is complete. Then, you'll enable the walled garden. It has to be star.cloudify.net. The walled garden is basically a list of sites a guest can visit before they log in. This entry is essential because it lets their device actually reach the Cloudi-Fi login page to get authenticated. Now what if you're using Meraki MR access points instead of the MX security appliances? Well, good news,
The process is pretty much the same, it just happens in a slightly different spot in the dashboard. We're still focused on the SSID's access control and splash page.
For your MR access points, you'll want to set the SSID security to open. Select click-through for the splash page type, enable that walled garden again with the Cloudi-Fi URL, set the Captive Portal strength to block all access, and finally, point it to your custom splash URL. Okay, one last step, and please don't skip this one. It's all about security. You need to go into the firewall and traffic shaping settings for that new guest SSID. From there, add a simple rule that denies any traffic from your guests trying to access your internal private networks. This is what keeps your corporate stuff safe and sound.
And that's it. Seriously? Congratulations. You did it. You've successfully bridged your Meraki infrastructure with the Cloudi-Fi Captive Portal, and your new enhanced guest Wi-Fi experience is officially live.
So the technical setup is done, but really, this is just a beginning, isn't it? The portal is live, and now the real question is, how are you going to use all these new analytics, marketing tools, and branding capabilities to completely transform your guest experience?